It's time to consider how serious a problem this is. Let's look at some data gathered by various government agencies. This data is from Semyonova from 2010 and 2011. These percentages show the fraction of people aged 12 and older who took various drugs over their lifetime. You can see that alcohol has a very high percentage. More than 18% of all people aged 12 or older have used alcohol in this lifetime. For other drugs, the percentages vary and gradually get smaller. For example, only a small number have used heroin in their lifetime, but note that a much larger fraction of people, almost 14%, have used prescription painkillers, which are the same. They are opiates. Now, what about the cost of drugs use? I think they are far greater than most people would imagine. The estimated economic cost to society due to illicit drugs is over $118 billion a year. Alcohol's about the same, and it's about the same or a little higher for tobacco. So the total for 2004 was 559 billions, which is an astonishing number. It's closing in on $1 trillion, and that's only in the United States. That amount of money could create thousands and thousands of jobs. The figure are the health costs of drugs use. They comprise the loss of productivity, legal costs, and other kinds of expenses. But the dollars amounts that we've just talked about do not include any measure of misery caused by drugs. We don't have an exact metric to measure misery, but we know that happens. We all know stories about people who have had their life nearly destroyed by drugs, just being emotionally affected by powerful drugs, urge of anything for the matter, endmines of confidence or outlook and performance. Some people lose careers, loved ones, friends, and personal and financial resources. Some people lose all the savings. Some people wind up in divorce court, and also there is dramatic and significant loss of health due to the side effects and toxicities of drugs. When health is neglected, such as when addicts are preoccupied with fine and taking drugs, problems occur. There are some dramatic before and after photos of individuals who abuse methamphetamines, which you can find by doing a search online. Some drugs cause a big change in your life with terrible consequences for health. We can also look at the brain and the change that occur after chronic drugs use. Consider the prefrontal cortex, which is very important for our functioning. It's believed to enhance activity that we need to reach goals and to inhibit irrelevant activities. It's involved in emotional regulation. This bar graphs show the volume of the prefrontal cortex, which is measured in brain scans. The volume of the health prefrontal cortex is shown by the bar on the left, and the volume of the prefrontal cortex in alcoholics is shown in the middle. Note the dramatic reduction in brain volume. The bar on the right is the volume of the prefrontal cortex in schizophrenia patient, and you can see that alcohol ultimately causes toxic and reduction in brain volume, the equivalent to found in serious ill mental patients with schizophrenia. Now there is some question as to whether the brain volume is reduced before people start drinking, but in general is accepted. The reduction brain volume is mainly due to the consumption of drinks alcohol rapidly over a long period of time. So you can see that there are very significant costs for dating coach in the web of compulsive drinking. This economic cost which we can measure in dollars, and then the cost in misery and health. Overall, it's heck. After this video, please go to one of the websites and see if you can find out how the data we looked at breaks down. For example, what fraction of the cost of drugs use into the loss of worker productivity. Until next time.